I'm eastbound on Highway 126, heading from Eugene towards the city of Bend in central Oregon. This is always a lovely passage which progresses through views of Cascade Peaks including Mount Washington, Black Butte, Three Sisters, and Broken Top. I've made it to Bend where I've met up with Erik and Ruth in their first-gen Honda CRV and Jason in his Honda Ridgline. After some final preparations, we're ready to head out of town on China Hat Road to start exploring the sparse forests and desert southeast of Bend. We're now beyond the paved stretch of China Hat Road and have stopped to air down. Aired down and back on the road, we're headed south, still on China Hat Road. These are national forest lands out here, served by a complex webbing of gravel and dirt roads which cross over the undulating landscape, wind through the trees, and spiral up the many small buttes which arise frequently into view. While it's hard to perceive as we're driving, we must be gaining elevation because we're seeing more and more snow the further we go. We came out here to explore this desert backcountry in the snow, and even in the subdued light of overcast skies, we can still appreciate this beautiful landscape and these compelling roads bringing us through it. We're along the southern fringe of the forest, where it gives way to the open desert in the vicinity of Fort Rock and Christmas Valley, but we're not getting any further this way. Erik is armed with Gaia GPS on his phone and has adjusted our course. We don't really have a specific destination or goal today. We're just out to see what we find. Hopefully, that will include a good spot to set up camp at some point. We've spotted a few abandoned cabins and homesteads out here, but this one is particularly interesting, filled with equipment whose original purpose we can't quite figure out. There's an engine, some kind of large belt drive, some piping, and a panoramic vista of the desert to the south. It's already so nice just being out in this vast, desolate wilderness, but finds like this are an extra treat. We're not in any particular hurry today, so we're taking our time to check it out, shoot some photos, and just enjoy being outdoors. It's really intriguing out here, just to the north of Fort Rock, but there's a bitterly cold wind whipping across the open desert. We've discovered that all the fun side roads which veer off toward interesting features are seasonally closed in order to leave the deer population undisturbed for the winter. So we can't get to some of the areas we would have liked to explore. That's okay. We're going to work our way back northward into the forest again and see what else we can find. We've made it to the top of this butte, and it's a neat spot with a great view. It's still too windy to make for a comfortable campsite. It's not late by any means. We've got plenty of time to keep poking around. We've decided to head up towards Pine Mountain. Erik has found us some really fun little trails to get us there.
Some of these tree pieces in front of us here real quick.
So there are in fact a couple of perfectly serviceable gravel roads that take you up to the summit of Pine Mountain, but where's the fun in that? Just a question of Erik's clutch surviving this increasingly steep and slippery trail we found. And nope, not happening. With the weather rolling in, I don't think we'll want to camp up here after all. At least I've captured what I think will be my favorite photo of the trip. Pine Mountain wasn't looking too promising for camping tonight. We're headed back down this little trail to a site Erik spotted when we came through before. I've never camped in the snow before. I've had some miserably cold camping nights, but I guess each of those times the cold was unexpected and I wasn't prepared. Knowing we'd be in the snow and having prepared accordingly, this is way more comfortable and enjoyable than I anticipated. I'm also pleasantly surprised by how effective Erik's Snow Peak portable fire pit is. The campfire burns very efficiently, keeping us toasty warm while leaving absolutely no trace. Erik has the medium size, which seemed small when I first saw it, but turned out to be more than adequate to keep an ample fire of normal-sized firewood burning very nicely. Last night was my first in my new 0-degree sleeping bag, and I was warm and cozy all night long. It only got down to 28 degrees, so it wasn't insanely cold, but I've never been so comfortable sleeping below freezing. A little snow has started to fall just as we've emerged from our respective vehicles. It was getting dark when we made camp last night, so I didn't really get a chance to check out our immediate vicinity. We're camped near a cool little formation of volcanic rock that looks like it pushed right up through the dirt not too many hundreds of years ago. The snow is still coming down pretty good. I carry an extra 10-foot by 10-foot tarp and plenty of bungee cords, which has come in handy to protect my kitchen area from the snow blowing in. We've also decided to deploy my $60 do-it-yourself awning to provide cover over Erik's kitchen. This lightweight setup isn't terribly well suited to accumulating snowfall, but shelter from the falling snow is a higher priority than headroom at the moment. Okay, so I admit I wanted to do a whole dreamy slow-mo overlanding coffee making sequence, but then I got to thinking, everyone knows how to make coffee. Do we really need to see it again? At half speed? So I'm thinking maybe I can start a new trend in overlanding coffee making videos. Breakfast and coffee prepared and consumed, we've broken camp and started working our way through the fresh snow back up towards Bend. parted ways with Erik, Ruth, and Jason, and am now driving back over the pass. It looks a little different up here than it did yesterday. I've refilled the gas tank, aired up, and I'm headed home.